on, horror fans? It's Foos here. Today, we got a fun little festive seasonal one for you. So, with it being March and St. Patrick's Day fast approaching here, thought it'd be a fun time to come on. We're going to do my little ranking video for the Leprechaun franchise. Now, this is a fun franchise, y'all. I mean, this is one you can't take too seriously, obviously. And maybe this is just me personally, but I've got some fond nostalgia for these movies. I mainly remember it because growing up, going to the, whatever your local video store was or whatever, I remember always going to the horror section and covers of boxes would stand out to me. I don't know, I still remember certain ones to this day, but there was always something about these movies. They were one of the ones that always jumped out at me in the movies, in the movie section. And when I eventually got old enough to be able to start picking out my own movies from the horror section, of course, these were some of the first ones that I wanted to rent and watch. And as a younger kid, you don't really dissect movies the same kind of way. So I didn't, assess these as cheesy or necessarily anything like that. I just thought they were super cool. The Leprechaun was funny in all the right ways, for that type of humor. And I don't know, they just hit me a certain kind of way. So I've always had a fond place for them. You got to judge them for what they are, for sure, and all that. But and I will say I'm not ranking out every traditional film in this franchise. I am omitting a couple here, full disclosure, and that's just because by the time it got to Leprechaun Back to the Hood and this newer film they did, Leprechaun Origins, I just was past the point of checking these movies out, so never got around to seeing those ones. So this ranking is purely just going to be for the original Leprechaun film up to his first trip to the hood, we'll say. But yeah, so the first five films in the series is what we're doing here. But yeah, without further ado, let's dive right into them here. So at the bottom of the barrel, coming in on this one, my least favorite of this franchise is going to have to probably be his trip to outer space, coming in at Leprechaun number 4. That's going to come in at the bottom here for me. And this one's just, it's all the things that you expect from one of these movies with the acceptable amount of, cheesy sort of stuff that you're going to see. But this one takes it to a whole other level with the outer space element and all of this crazy shit we've got going on with this storyline about this princess and all of this stuff. This one goes off the rails for sure. And there's some over the top characters in this that are just a little much even for this franchise. And so for that, the trip to space is definitely coming in at the bottom for me. Yeah, there's some funny moments to it and all, and I'll still, if I'm gonna every year around this time of year, I go back and I rewatch a lot of these movies, and I'll still throw this one on and sit through it and have some laughs. But definitely the bottom of the five for me. But moving on from that, our next least offensive of the franchise, I'll say, is going to be the Leprechaun to the Hood trip, and that one ranks slightly above the trip to space for me, just because we get a performance from Ice-T in this one. That's pretty cool, and he's got some moments that are pretty funny. But essentially, in this one, you've just got these three guys that are all trying to make it as up and coming rap artists, and they get in with this producer who's played by Ice-T, and that's what kind of gets them connected to the Leprechaun, and we get some funny shit with the Leprechaun experiencing going to the hood, I guess, for the first time in some moments. But it's it's silly, but I like this one slightly more than the trip to space, as I have some fun with Ice-T's character and some of those elements there. But after that one, moving on to our third spot on the list here. This is going to be reserved for the second film for me, Leprechaun 2. And this one is one that I do enjoy watching. I mean, I'd say any of the ones from here on up, I thoroughly enjoy. Call them guilty pleasures. I don't really believe in that word, because if you like it, you like it. But like, call them whatever you want. I have fun with these ones, and I could say I like these movies. But number 2, or Leprechaun 2, I should say, is going to come in at number 3 for me here. Now, this is kind of one where you have a whole situation with this, I'll admit, kind of goofy storyline where the leprechaun is trying to get married, essentially, and secure himself a bride, secure his offspring and all this type of stuff. And it's a little strange. It's this girl's got to sneeze a certain amount of times, and then all of a sudden she's under some curse or whatever. Pretty silly storyline, I'll admit, but I have some fun with some of the characters in there. Morty, in particular, is a character in this one that I find to be really entertaining. And plus, you just get some great moments with the leprechaun in this. And yeah, no, this one's coming in at number 3 for me. Moving on to our top two, coming in at the second spot out of the Leprechaun franchise for me is going to be Leprechaun number three. And this is the one where he goes to Las Vegas, and this is a fun time. I mean, there's so many hilarious moments, albeit they're silly. But again, it's all I guess in how you choose to interpret it. I have fun with it. And the third one is definitely, I would say, it has the most fun with itself. I mean, the Leprechaun is just full of one-liners in this movie. I mean, there's so many little scenes they throw in there where he's just walking down the strip in Vegas, just saying all kinds of fucking silly shit. We get some fun kills that are obviously kind of related in certain capacities to what's going on around him, and that's kind of fun. But yeah, I'm a fan of the third one, and I'll admit, growing up as a kid, seeing this at I don't even know what age I was when I first saw it, but Tammy had a crush on Tammy, the blonde character that works at the casino here. Full admit. But yeah, that's gonna be number two on this one. So without obviously leaves only one left. We know what we're working at here. The original is going to be the top of the list for me. I mean, that's definitely the one that tries to present itself the most as somewhat of a horror movie. I mean, for as much as you can take the concept of an evil leprechaun seriously, they try, it seems like, to at least make him more of a horror figure somewhat in this first one. But this one has a whole vibe to it that's just awesome. You get Jennifer Aniston's, super green early performance here. Just a fun time again. I mean, that's what all these movies really boil down to for me. Warwick Davis is the constant, throughout all of these, and I feel like he embraced the hell out of this role and made it his own in a way that deserves a lot of credit. Whether you like these movies or you hate these movies, you think they're the stupidest shit you've ever seen, that's all fair, whatever. But I think he does deserve some credit for the performance that he put in and the just the amount he put himself into this. So yeah, I mean, just the season, y'all. Go back and check out your Leprechaun movies. Let me know your rankings down in the bottom. The other two that I omitted, are these something that should be on my radar? Let me know if you think so. But that's how I see the Leprechaun franchise ranking out. But in the meantime, y'all, like, comment, subscribe, share some videos with some friends, share the channel. Anything you can do to help out is greatly appreciated over here. We'll see you on the next one.